Yes. Let's take that down. What's going on, man? Um, I don't know how long I'll get here. I got some people coming. Repair guy. Um, Man, big move. Dow Jones. We're live on YouTube, man. Too. You get a better view on YouTube. I know a lot of people just like Instagram, man. So, but we're live on YouTube if you want to check that out. We're looking at the Dow Jones. For info, hold on, I'm typing something. All right, man. I pinned my number. If you're interested in trading with us, just send me a text, man. I'll tell you what you need to do. So let me make sure YouTube's up. YouTube's up. What's up, Eric? What's up, Mike? Dr. Dre in the house. What's up, G? Yeah, all's good. There was a drive-by shooting about 55 feet from my house last night, so that's cool. Pirate City. It's a lawless city. We know that living in New Orleans. You got to be hard if you want to live here, man. You could get gunned down at any moment. Always strapped. That's why we like it. New Jack City here, man. #1 carjackings. So that's the third shooting next to my house here recently. And it's expensive to live where I live. The shooters come and visit. What's up, Lisa? So what we got the Dow just, this has been, so when you come to my one of my live events, you might get gunned down, man. Makes it more dangerous. Big breakout, massive breakout in the Dow Jones at the beginning of this stage 2 rally that we're under. Now we got to start looking for the rally to pause here. Doesn't mean it's over. It usually does. Here's the last time we did this. Okay? And, you know, not to rain on our party, but if we were to draw a sloping trend line, which I don't do a lot of that kind of stuff, but it does make it more exciting, man. So, I mean, that's what we're pushing up against. This is the Dow. In a good scenario, what we should see, from my experience, what we should see is hopefully it pauses. That gives everything a little more room. Other stocks catch up, and then, you know, we play. Last time it rolled over, and that could roll over again. And we have this beautiful descending bear market. And I say beautiful because if we're being smart, we're just going to buy these, guys. Just stay with it. Stay with it for the next couple years. And you just buy those. All right? And you buy those bottoms. You take some gains up here. And what's the point of the gains? Sometimes I think people misunderstand the point of the gains. For me, and I was talking a little bit about this in Discord, using Gilead as the example. I trimmed Gilead today. I didn't sell much. I only sold 5 shares. Now that there's no commissions, back in the day I would sell 10%, 20%, just because the commissions fit in. But today I don't have to do that. So I could just sell, you know, I think I sold 5 shares. Tomorrow I could sell 5. The day after, maybe I could catch it drip up a little and I could just nick it, you know, trim. So I'm raising some dough here. And I want to put it in something that hasn't done as well. Well, that's all gains. So I can establish a new position in a new stock with gains from Gilead. And then as I go forward, I can add to that new stock. But I established it with gains. Now, if the whole market turns, both Gilead and the stock that I added to are likely to go down. And that's okay. Okay? So that's a different way. When most people think, quote, trading, they're thinking momentum, in and out. And it's like, okay, that is a way to trade. And that's a retail trader obsession. Retail traders are obsessed with the littlest of moves. They think they mean they mean something. And it's like, in my opinion, I've never had enough money where I could put on big enough trades in a short period of time where it would ever make me any real dollars. But if you look at Gilead here, just in the last 6 months, if you do what OGP likes to do, which is buy stage ones, I had a 6-month run to build this, build this, build this, build this, build this, build this, except we've been building this for 2 years. And by the way, I might add, about half of that I was underwater in the stock. And you're like, what do you mean? Meaning we were negative. So now look at these patterns. This is on a weekly chart. And you're like, does it money flow? I don't know. Look at it. Sideways up, sideways down, sideways. That, my friend, is the money flow, right? And so the guy that I originally got part of the concept from used to use this weekly chart. And he would use these for, and he was using the 20-day. That's a guy named Stan Weinstein. You may have heard Chris Johnson talk about Stan Weinstein. I've turned a lot of people on to Stan. We can't use Stan's stuff today. It's slightly different, but it's kind of like reading history. And if you like history of the stock market, which you should dig into some Stan Weinstein, How to Profit in Bull and Bear Markets. Great book. I don't use the way Stan does exactly, but look at this move here. So if we've been buying this for the last 2 years, a lot of our buys were in this $50 range. Right? But we would take this to a daily chart. Now, some people would be like, oh, I had it at 70 and now it's 57 and that's so sad. And it's like, not really. Not if your time frame is now today I'm taking gains. And then now I'll just let this stock drift and it's off my radar. It worked. It took 2 years. We built the position. Now it's ripped. I take some off. I'll hold the rest of Gilead for the rest of my life, probably, collecting a dividend. And I'll take some gains from it and start a new position in something. I don't know what. Maybe not. Maybe I add it to an old. And we just leave it alone and we turn our focus to other stocks. And that's called position trading. It's what I've tried to teach. And to be honest, I haven't taught it as well as I probably could have. I'm not a trained teacher. I'm not a professional speaker. I'm just a guy that stumbled onto some shit that other people weren't talking about. And I thought I would share it with the world. Chris says, GP, are you in NOLA for the weekend of 11/4? I need to buy you a whole lot of beers. I will be here, Chris. Just hit me up when you get here, man. Mouth closed, eyes on. Yeah, so we got 57 people. That's good. It's Friday. It's always hard to get an audience on Friday. Is Gilead your favorite pharma? No. Nope. I hate it now. You're like, what do you mean? This stock is of no good to me now. You know what I mean? It worked. It's over. It's now it just does what it does. Now, that doesn't mean 6 months from now, and this is another thing, typically when these break, like I just let them go. It's done. I'm putting my focus toward other things. That doesn't mean, here's a weird thing is you'll start to see as you trade with me, you're like, why aren't you buying Pepsi? It's like, I bought it 5 years ago and I'm done. Meaning I don't need any more of it. Now this may end up being a $200 stock. And so even at 178, it's a deal. If 2 years from now, this is a $200 stock, buying today would not have been a bad idea. But we can't know that. And so we want to buy on extreme lows and we want to take gains into extreme highs. And we could trade around the position. Maybe it pulls back later into the 70s and maybe we add to it again. And maybe someone who's never owned the stock establishes a brand new position at, say, $69 on the next pullback. And I may or may not participate in that because I have enough. Does that make sense? And these stocks become $200 stocks, man. I mean, they really do. A lot of people are sad they sold. And I learned my lesson on McDonald's. And you're like, what do you mean? Well, I started buying this in 2014, I think it was. Or 15. It was right after a big, doesn't look like it was a big sell-off, but there was a lot of negative news. And if you look in here, this is literally from 2013, 14, 15. This is a monthly chart. This is from 2013 to 2015 in this area right in here. That's a 3-year window. McDonald's didn't even move. That's when I started buying it. That's when I started buying it because all the news was negative. Everybody's going to go vegan. We're all going to eat kale. The world's always going to be healthy. Millennials don't like fast food and all that bullshit. Whenever you hear those apocalyptic stories, just assume they are full of shit and they have no idea what they're talking about, especially people on TV. If you knew at all what you're talking about, you'd be a billionaire, not on TV. Always remember that. Most people do not know. So this is a 4-year run where the world decided to get healthy, 3-year run. And I'm buying McDonald's, buying McDonald's, buying McDonald's, buying McDonald's, buying McDonald's, buying McDonald's. And then what happens? This shit rips. And when it gets over here, I'm buying in this, man, I want to say I bought some in the 50s. So I may be wrong on my time frame, man. I don't have my other phone or I would check it. I'm going to look on that later. I could have swore I bought some in the 50s. Maybe I didn't. But anyway, when it got up into the 120s and 130s, I was like, man, I'm a genius. Let me sell this. Look at all the money I made. And then it pulled back and I was like, look how smart I am. And then look at this. So I went from 125 shares in McDonald's in the 70s. I had 125 shares, right? So I got about 10K of it. And then I thought I was smart and sold a bunch of it off. So what I've learned is when you got a winning stock, trim it, take some gains, buy a new position, and then let that shit just drift. Let it run. Don't do anything. Just let it be. Just let it go. Just let it keep going. Don't feel like you have to do something. Just leave it alone. Often we're our worst enemy, man. We are our worst enemy. So, quick lesson here. Let's go back to Gilead for just a second. Let me give you a thought process here. Even McDonald's. Let's look at McDonald's for just a second. All right. Now, this is how GP does the buying, right? You know what it looks like. My old friend RSI, and I'm looking for the big stage 4 decline. That's what I need. I need that. I need one man's foreclosures, another man's opportunity. So I need these declines. These declines become my chance, right? These become my chance. What do you mean by chance? The only way for me to make money up here and to make the big money is if I can get a run of these because I don't make enough money to buy big enough positions. Like, what do you mean? I mean, I can't buy $10,000 positions every trade in 40 fucking trades. I don't have that kind of money, man. Now, I can get that kind of money over time. And so what I want to do is kind of combine an investing strategy with a trading strategy with the techniques of a trader, the precision of the entries and the exits, but it's not to exit the stock, it's to take gains. And so it's the precision of a trader with the mindset of an investor. Because sometimes when I meet investors, they're like, oh, I'm a buy and holder. I don't even look at the market. And it's like, really? That's dumb. If you would learn this, you could look at the market and you could pinpoint your buys, and I bet you'd do better over time. And sometimes, and what I mean by that is if we're just looking at McDonald's, yeah, you could have bought here and guess what? It's worth more. Buy and hold works. But what if we didn't do that? What if we bought these? I bet my buy and hold works better than their buy and hold. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're just buying bottoms, man. Now, stock selection comes into play, and that's a whole different conversation. And if you're a better stock picker than, say, I am, you're going to do better than me. So I could give I've done this. I give the money flow to other people, and they go do better than me. And then I give money flow to another guy, and he does terrible. It's not the money flow. It's the stock selection inside of the money flow. Does that make sense? It's the money flow just is. It's not trying to give you, there is nothing like, sometimes people go, what's your winning percentage? I don't know. That's not the way I look at it. What's my balance over time? Is it going higher or going lower? So I'm not looking at it like a static trader, like I put 10K in and what's my rate, my percentage of winnings. That's all Forex bullshit. All that stuff, winning percentages and how much you win on a that is all mental nonsense. All that means nothing because I've sat in stocks where I was underwater for 2 years only to watch them go up 400%. And so even when I hear people talk about, well, there's a cost of holding, you could have done it. Yeah, maybe. But then when it went up 400%, what was the cost of holding by not being in it? Because you bought some other dumb shit that went up 30% instead of 400. So there's a cost of transaction too. There's a cost of giving up on an idea. There's a cost of moving, and maybe you get it right, maybe you don't, man. So the way I've found to cover all of that is to buy a diversified portfolio of different things with different targets and different time frames, man. God, this McDonald's. So if we're investors, I think investors become the best traders because investors, if you're investing the way that I do, anyway, where we're really watching stage ones. And if you know anything about me, I mean, everybody in the money flow knew this was a buy for McDonald's. A lot of people ask me, are you buying it? No, I'm not buying it because I bought it a long time ago and I got too much of it. Man, I got like $20,000 of the shit. But if you don't have any, that's your buy point. And one day this thing will split and it'll be $100 stock again. And I'll give you an example of one here. CSX. Man, let me show you this one. I've been through the hell and back with me and Mr. Obama. Obama about killed me in this stock. Let's see. All right. Now I want you to see something. Oh, man, I was buying it. Where was I buying this damn thing? I got somebody calling in. I meant to tell them I wasn't going to make the call just yet, man. That guy that just called me right there is rich. He owns like 38 houses. We talk every Friday. Guy books a call with me every Friday because he's trying to get really rich. Hey, Robert, just give me a minute, bro. I had to cover what's going on here. I was just talking about you, sir. Yeah, we had a big move here in the Dow, man. I'll give you a call shortly. If you guys don't know my buddy Robert Biggerstaff, you should go check him out. He's out there doing the real deal when it comes to real estate, man. Big inspiration if you're trying to get into that game. He's out there grinding every day, showing that it's not all glamorous either, man. There's a lot of problems in that world. So this is CSX trains we're looking at here. And what I want to show you, I began to buy it back here. And I didn't get I don't remember the exact prices, but then the Obama administration really started cracking down on coal and the train it was in bad shape, man. And if you notice now this has been reverse split because it got so high, they reverse split it, okay? So it actually went a lot higher than this is giving you the perception. It was not a $1 stock. You see where it shows it was $1? It was not $1. They've done reverse split, so it's kind of thrown the charts off. Okay, so this was like $100 and something stock. They did a 5-for-1, whatever it is, reverse split. So when I was buying it, it was like $20, and then it fell to 12. Must have been over here then. Was Obama in presidency in 2015? That doesn't sound right. But that's a big 50% drop right there. You're like, that don't look like 50%. I know, because the chart's so extended. If you look, that was $10 down to $5. That is a 50% drop. But the price was actually $22 to like $12. And I spent a long time, if you look here, all the way back to here, underwater in this stock. And then it just exploded, dude. And then look what happened. It just exploded. It didn't go to 38. It really went to like a lot more, and they've done reverse splits. My point is you could be underwater in a stock for a while and then add to it and then end up way ahead. And then when you divide it, you're like, wow, that was like 28% a year, even though most of the year you were in the negative, man. Let's see. Oh, let's talk about Amazon. I had a big trade going. Now, if you're in my Discord group, one of the advantages is I just let out my free thoughts, shit that I might not text, shit I might not say on Instagram. And I was like, man, I am not feeling good about this Amazon. I said that. I said Facebook reported, blasted. Microsoft blasted. We got a sell signal going into earnings. Fuck. I mean, that's the only word you can describe it. Fuck. That's the word. And I said, I'm very tempted to either buy puts or close half the position. I just wanted everyone to know that that's the way I felt. And, my feeling was right, so it dropped. But I don't like trading on that kind of shit, like feelings, but sometimes you just see it enough, you get it. Remember yesterday we were talking about the nuances of the market. Dow's the leader. NASDAQ is dragging. And so if you're keeping your log and you're keeping your notes, when the market opens, just kind of scribble some notes and be like, oh, cool, Dash is trying to make a breakout. Remember when we said when we do that, we can think about other stocks that are related to that stock, and that could open up things for you. So as I'm watching that, I'm just like, man, they're getting ready for the chopping block. Bam, that's what happened. Now, what we're watching for this morning is, does price close above or below this box here? And if it's below, that is not good, but it's a Friday, so I would give it another day. If we can get back up into here, that's pretty bullish. We'll see. That's how I'm looking at this right now, and I'm down like everybody else. It's Amazon. I'm not in a big concern, man. I think we'll get that back. That ain't no big deal. Oh, what's up, YouTube? I always forget I'm on there. What's up, Matthew? They blocked your comment till I showed it, I guess because you said the F word. I'm on Instagram restriction right now for saying the F word. Not for saying the word, because I wrote it on my story. I spelled it out. Apparently you're not allowed to spell it. You can say it, just don't spell it. Apparently it causes girls to get pregnant or something. Major Mills says, love Robert's YouTube. Yeah, Robert's a good dude. Doesn't have enough followers, in my opinion. I've tried to help with that. He needs more followers, man. He's out there doing the real thing. You just sold. Did you sell it? Nothing wrong with that. If you're trading, you're trading. If you're trading and it hits your stop, it hits your stop. No big deal. And like my man said, if he sold it, he can get back into it. No big deal. But again, Luke said men can get pregnant too. Now, Gerald, that probably so. But again, most of my trading, guys, is position trading. I'm not, and I'm going to be honest, now that the Dow is running, I'm now interested in growth stocks. Like, my attention has been dividend only, dividend only, dividend only, dividend only, dividend only. If you've noticed that, if you've been following me closely, all I keep talking about is dividend stocks. Don't buy growth stocks. Dividend stocks. Don't buy growth stocks. We'll come back to growth stocks. I haven't given up on them. And you're like, why would you say that, Gerald? Look at this. And I've been saying that before this happened. It's just I've been in the market long enough. I talk to people too, guys. Hedge fund managers, people that work at banks that are like in securities finance, like people that are dealing with millions to billions of dollars. Maybe they don't have billions, but they work there. And they all are the same thing. People want dividends. So it's like, okay, let's buy that. Now, once they start running, I don't want that. I want what they don't want. Now I'm looking at that shit. Facebook looks good, right? Now it's down shitty, but now we're interested in it. Does that make sense? I want to get on the other side of the cash register. I want to be buying things people don't want now and then selling them when they do want them. So I sell Gilead now. I want to buy it when nobody wanted to own it. I want to own Kraft when it's not popular. I want to sell it into strength or trim it, take profit. Does that make sense? The safety is in the profitable dividend stocks, absolutely. But now I think as those stocks go higher and higher and higher, they're no longer a value. And so if you've been well positioned, just let them run and then take your new money. Don't trim dividend stocks and buy growth stocks. Do not do that. Keep your growth dividend stocks. Put new money into growth stocks. That's exactly how I would do it. So I'm going to look to put new money into Facebook, new money into Amazon, PayPal, all those top plays, and then let my dividends run. Maybe set my dividends to go to cash on some of these stocks. Like all my oil stocks, I've set them to go to cash. I don't necessarily want to sell any more oil stocks here, but I don't want the dividends to buy more oil stocks. It's a 71 RSI. So give me the dividends in cash. I would rather buy Hanes Brands because Hanes Brands is dirt ass cheap. And I'm just dumbfounded why this stock won't get going. So there are still a few good dividend stocks. Let's check Google. Did it get blasted? Look at Google on the comeback. If this gets, I'm in Google. If this gets back in this box, guys, this is super bullish. God damn, it's close too. I'd watch this into the close. If it gets up in that box, I'd buy some. Maybe a share, partial share. Let's check on Tesla. Do you understand what I said there about back in the box? Where's the box? You know, is this foolproof? No. But it's just one of the things of the money flow. That's the box. It's not exact science. I mean, it could be right into there. You could take it down to there. It's just a general zone, the box. Back in the box. If that gets back in the box, it means price rejected this stage 4 sell-off and is now back into this zone here. Super bullish, guys. Super bullish. Super bullish, man. Yeah, I've been holding on to HBI for 6 months. I tell you, man, I promise you. I say I promise you. Assuming the company stays valid and everything goes well. Obviously, there's things I don't know. If it looks like Chinese to you, I can help you with that, bro. I can make this your second language. Your friends will be like, what's up, man? You're a stock nerd now? How'd you go to a stock nerd? 6 months ago, you were hanging out with us. Now you got all this money in the stock market. What's going on? Yeah, man. I've taken a lot of people that really didn't know shit about the stock market within a year. I mean, I got guys in the money flow gang, been in 3 years. Kid you not. This is no bullshit. And it's not just me. I mean, I'm just an influence. It was just a, influencer, right? It was just the people in there too. So when you're in there and the guy's like, oh, bought another house. Oh, I did this. Oh, I did that. And then it starts to like, fuck, man. So you start doing it. But I got a kid in there. I say kid, he's in his 30s, but wife, he was single, in debt. Here it is 3 years later. They own their house, 2 rental houses, and just went over 100K in the stock market. 36 months ago, in debt, single, no house. I mean, talk about a transformation, man. Like in 36 months, you got a baby, 3 houses, and 100K in the stock market. Come on, man. Shit makes me want to go buy a house. All right, so how should one get started with the money flow book? Just buy it, bro. I got some new cool hard copies if you want one. eBooks are a little cheaper, but if you get the hard copy, it comes with it. And then just take your time with it, man. You can always reach out to me if you don't understand. If you still don't get it, I have a course called Getting Started with Stock Charts, and I literally read the book to you and do 30-minute videos on each section. Like it's me breaking down for 30 minutes how I look at these moving averages, or how I look at the box, or how I look at support and resistance. And then you get through that shit. You could always trade with us in the money flow gang. We'll kind of keep you on track, man. Any moves I make, I text out to you. And that's not really to have you copy me, although you might at first, just so you can get the flow. It's just to kind of help you see what's going on in the market, because I don't make a move unless I need to. If there's nothing to do, there's nothing to do. My man Corey said he read it 5 times. I know I need to write part 2, man. There's so much more to it than just that book, but I reread it all the time too, man. And there's a lot of shit when I read it, I'm like, fuck, I didn't say that right. Looks like an idiot wrote it. Look at this horrible graph. I need to update it. But you got to remember, when I wrote it, that was literally my trading notes, and I didn't have any intention of mass selling them like I do now, or trying to anyway. Uncle G, you have thought on Series I bonds. Yeah, I know a lot of people, there's a deadline to get 9.2%. I only think that makes sense if you got a lot of money, man. If you're going to dump 100K in there, I guess. If you're dropping small money, man, we don't want that, man. We just build these stocks, man. We don't want that. We can get that in one day. Gilead's up 12%. That's today. It'd take you a whole year to get that with bonds. Or you just buy stage 1s in a diversified portfolio of stocks and get that. I mean, you'll beat that. You're going to get 9% a year over time. Plus, you can move in and out of it with the click of a mouse. So it's hard for me, man. If I to lock up money like that in bonds, I don't think it's a bad idea to own some bonds, but yeah, the max is 10K. Just don't do anything for me. Yeah, I think Alex is right. So yeah, I don't see the reason. It's just not gonna. I mean, I'd rather take the 10K, set it aside, and then save another 10K and go buy a house, and now you're making 30, 40% a year. I wouldn't lock it in. Let's look at Intel. I was talking shit about semiconductors, and I'll get off here. I gotta make some phone calls. I may be wrong. I was literally talking shit yesterday, saying I'm not adding to these semiconductors chip stocks. I own them, but I wasn't buying them just yet because I'm not behind the story. But the money flow doesn't lie. It was breaking out. And that's an example of the way you will use the money flow compared to the way I use it. That is a buy signal. And a lot of people were watching it and they're like, hey, are we buying? It's like, I'm not. And so, but that's a breakout, right? And now it's moving higher. And if it moves up to here, anybody played the money flow, got it right, right? And I'm using the money flow and I didn't execute. And so is that the money flow's fault? No, that's me. And so there is that human element to this. There is the human element of deciphering the market. And honestly, you'd probably do better like not injecting your own intelligence into it. I mean, honestly, if you just added to stage ones and just went about your day, you're probably going to do great over time. If you try to outthink it too much, So I may be outthinking myself there, but I've gotten better and better at it after 20 years of watching the market every day. We'll see. I got a nice position in Intel, so not a big deal. What's up, Manny? So yeah, I hope you got it, man. I don't have any, right now I'm kind of just all in and watching. So to be honest, where's the SPY? And we'll wrap up here. SPY still has a lot of room to run. Does the SPY get to the 200-day? I sure hope so. And right now, I got to assume it will. Big day bounce back for the Qs. That's beautiful. Still a lot of room in here compared to the Dow Jones, man. That big Dow 30. To be fair, though, that composite is only made up of 30 stocks. Stock selection is super important. Those 30 stocks have flown, and that's got a little bit to do with oil. So be careful trying to be too smart, man. I meet a lot of guys and I've suffered from this. This is why I try to tell them that. It's like, man, careful when you meet smart people that got the market figured out. There's too many moving parts. I remember when they were telling me that nobody's going to pay $500 for a cell phone during the Great Depression because it was 2008, fucking market's crashing. Nobody will pay that for a cell phone. Yeah, dummy, because they'd never seen a smartphone. And you're like, what do you mean? They invented the smartphone during the recession, man. 2008, they come out with the first smartphone, and life has changed. And all those people that had it figured out, thought they knew where the world was going, are dead wrong because they didn't know shit about a smartphone. And the world changed, man. So there's things that people that are really smart when you're looking at past data can't predict, like future fucking results or people dying, black swans, new technology. Verizon, big pump out of Verizon today. It's not holding it though. We'll see. Hopefully it holds it. Hopefully it holds it. We need it to close over this little box zone. Man, that's about it, man. Dirty bombs and stuff. Yeah, man, you never know. Let me run through these, see if I see anything jumping off at me. Airbnb is like stuck in a EP. Oh, let's look at utilities and I'll end there. Utilities, Tesla. Tesla's a new swing trade. You could buy it right here. This is a stage 2. Looking for it to run up into this 270 range. Still a buyable. We bought right here, but you could still add here. Zim is fine. I would not add yet, though. I'm holding off on adding to Zim. What was the other one? Bark was one I had to trade going in, and this thing just cannot get going. So, stage 2 breakout in Bark yesterday, or the other day, I added, looking for a run up to this 240, purely a trade. Swan, that's an energy company, ain't it? Swan. Southwestern Energy Company. This is actually near my house in Texas. I'm not in it. I'm curious why this isn't going up. There's a bunch of these in the oil space. Well, Bore's finally started to go up. Bore drilling. So I wondered why some of those were not. They just were not getting going, man. Oh, Luke, bro. I wish you'd come study the markets with me. What do you mean what happened to Tesla, man? They did a reverse split, man. They reverse splitted it. So everybody got 5 for 1 or 10 for 1, whatever it was. It was a reverse split, man. He said, Google's your best friend. Yes, it is. Oh, utilities. Let's look at that UTSL. Look at the breakout, man. I've been posting this one on Instagram saying, hey, you got to buy this. This is some of our best plays is in this utility ETF. This is a triple leveraged utility ETF. Whenever this thing moves, it's 5, 6, 7% a day. I mean, look at it. It went from 48 to 23. It's done this where it's dropped from way up here to way down here, and then it runs back up here and then back down. So now we're playing it for a run up. Our target's going to be around $37, and hopefully we move up. So we were doing most of our buying. We bought a little here. It came back down. We held it. So we're buying 2 stage 1s. I know I had some people in Discord probably didn't like that I would do that. Shit, I'll buy the next one. This is not going anywhere. It's a utility ETF. It is going higher, okay? It will get back to this 200-day moving average. It's utility stock. Southern Electric, AEP, Duke, Edison. It will go back to this. I'm pretty certain. So that means I'm turning 2,400 into 3,700. I'll do that all day long. I like to trade 200 or 300 shares on this if I can, just because then you're getting $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 paydays. I like it. And you can also just take 5 shares, and you make some money. Keep that one on your radar. Those are, because it's leveraged, it's a way for you to trade stocks that really don't move that much. The beta on utility stocks is usually not that high, but if you add in the triple leverage, it works pretty well. I love look at the UDow. I know there's some people in Discord that are in the UDow. I mean, look at the move on these, man. Here's the breakout at $43. Now it's at $56. I mean, that's $1,400 up, and now you take your gains. Take some off the table, let it keep running, take some off the table, and when it rolls over like this, get completely out. And that would be the 4 stages of price movement that we follow inside of the money and float, man. That's it. I'll let you guys be. Jason says XLRE is breaking out. That is a triple leverage down index. Yep. That's a triple leveraged ETN. Yeah, if you're inside Discord, I have a list of about 60 of those that I follow. Triple leverage funds, everything from Mexico to whatever. There's even a triple leverage for Amazon if you're interested. What is that one called? Let me see. I thought I had it on here. Where did I put that? I guess I didn't. I could have swore I saved that. Anyway, there's a triple leverage on Amazon. Does anybody know the ticker by chance? Where the hell did I put it under? These are all buckets of stocks that I follow, like 3X funds, and it's just 3X funds, ARK funds, all the stocks inside of ARK list, bellwethers, top. Okay, AMZU. Thank you. AMZU. Oh, it's 1.5. It's not triple leveraged. So it's 1.5. So inexpensive way to trade Amazon, but it's leveraged. So be careful. I would only buy leveraged after it had come way down and put in a stage 1. So keep this on your radar. This sets up. You can kick a triple or a 1.5 leverage on Amazon, and it's cheaper to get in because it's only $17. So keep that on your list, man. It's not there yet, though. I'm in Mexico right now. Man, good deal. All right, Instagram. I'll talk to you guys later. YouTube, let me see if you guys got any stocks you want me to look at. What's up? What's up, Major Meals? I have to keep approving yours. Or no, you're not the. That's motivating. I'm turning 30 at the end of the year. Been getting my shit together. Okay, good deal, man. Let's see. No, nobody's got any, so that's good, man. All right, man, just keep an eye on it. There's a couple stocks I'm watching, but it being Friday, I don't want to make any moves till in the close. I'm looking to add to I would like to add to Tesla if I can find the money. And I think that was the only one on my list. DES is breaking out. I have not added. I've been asked a million times about it. I'm just watching. We've had a nice run, though. We'll see. I'm in no rush on this. I'd like to know why this catastrophic collapse happened. I need to hear something from the company for me. No big deal. We'll see what's up, man. Let's see. Yeah. Don't feel like you got to add to everything, every sell-off, every time. We got a long time to play this game. So sometimes you just got to narrow it down. Sometimes you just don't have the money, too. I've had plenty of sell-offs where I just didn't have any money. I mean, I had a house project going. And so, I was in there buying one chair of this or trimming, looking for 70 RSIs just so I can trim something so I can get some money to add to something. That's kind of what the money flow also can help you do. You get stuff like Merck right now. Look at big run up Merck. You could trim this. Just don't trim so much that when it keeps going, you don't benefit, because you are kind of slowing down a winner. You don't want to sell winners to buy losers, but we do want to take some gains to add to good positions. So you got to kind of balance those two, Going back to 200 AMT. Yep. All right, guys. Anything I can do for you, let me know. Man, if you need somewhere to trade, let us know. Give me a text, and we'll take it from there.